So I always get messages from Spirit, from God, but not like this, okay? So God, literally God, okay, gave me this. This is about God transmuting all the evil in the world, okay? If you're an earth angel, this is specifically for you. If you are a karmic, you probably ought to listen to, because you're about to have your asses handed to you, okay? God is done playing. I never come at messages like this, but that's what I was told to do. So God says, sit down and listen, okay? This message came through today, 1/15/2026 at 11:15, 76%. As usual, I'm going to break down those numbers. If you don't want to be a part of that situation, which I think you should listen, I will put the numbers down below in which you can hop into the full message from God, okay? So number 1 for January, the Magician, aka God, the Creator, okay? God is transmuting something at this time is what I first heard, 111, okay? It's 12:12 on my time. Okay, the number 15, the devil, okay? 117, as I say this is that evil energy in the world, okay? Next we had 2026, which broke down to 10, the wheel of fortune, okay? And that is karma and divine justice, okay? Divine authority. Fated events that were always meant to happen, okay? God is literally bringing them out now. 144, okay? I was kept home today with a migraine. God don't care. He said, put this message out. So, 11:15 broke down to number 8, which is the strength card. And then I heard the Lion of Judah, okay, which is divine authority, as I just said, okay. And then lastly, we have the number 76, which breaks down to 13, which is the death and rebirth card here. Okay, some people are going to go through a physical transition. Some are going to go through a spiritual transition, okay, a rebirth, okay. Earth angels, we are here to guide those in this process that are being rebirthed, the ones that want to be saved, okay, the ones that really mean it, okay. 2, 3, 4, as I said that. Okay, so let's break down and let's hop in there, okay. So the first thing that I heard Spirit say to me was the song Kerosene by Miranda Lambert. And the in particular lyric that he gave me was, forget your high society, I'm soaking in kerosene. Light 'em up, watch 'em burn, teach 'em what they need to learn. Hi, okay? So that came through at 11:22. I have major chills, okay? So God is here saying that they are literally burning these higher level societies to the ground, okay? God, as the magician, the creator of all things, is exercising divine authority at this time, 323, okay? So with the devil and the Wheel of Fortune cards here, 333, okay? Shows that we are at a critical turning point, okay? And that fate is unfolding, 3, 4, 5, okay? Right before our eyes. And that came through at 11:27. So then God said to me, look up 11:27 in the Strong's Concordance, which he just now recently had me start doing. I had no idea about any of this before, okay? So when I looked it up, excuse me, 11:27 refers to the Greek verb Gregorio, okay, meaning to keep awake or watch, okay, 414 as I looked up. It is used in the New Testament to urge spiritual alertness, watchfulness, and being sober against temptation or spiritual sleep, okay, underlining spiritual sleep, okay, for our earth angels. So what God is doing now will force people to open their eyes to who God truly is, okay? And the power that God holds, okay? 444. So the next thing that God showed me was the power card. This is God, okay? The power, okay? And then when I went to get this out, God also gave me potential. transformation, 505, and illumination. Okay? So God's potential power to destroy everyone and everything is real. Okay? God is not going to exercise that control right now. Okay? But what God is saying is that these true evil entities, attachments, people, whatever the case is, okay, they are being eradicated is the word that he gave me. Okay? Made me circle it. Eradicated. Done. Okay? And then there was a drop down that said, the outcome will be in your favor. I'll put that up here, but it also is another screenshot of another drop down that I had as well. So it'll have both. But this means that once God is done delivering this divine justice, only the light can and will remain. Okay. That's this illumination, this transformation. Okay. Then the sun outside came out from behind the clouds super brightly. Okay, it's been snowing here the last couple of days, 614, 615. So the sun, poking out is showing that illumination here, and God showing you that he's about to light it up. Okay. That came through at 11:37, which breaks down to 12. Okay. And God said 12th house energy. Okay. The hidden world is being exposed and revealed here. Okay. The hidden world as in, God's psychics, God's, anointed, God's chosen, God's people. Okay. We are being revealed. Okay. And we'll get back to that in just a minute. But the next thing that I heard was landslide will bring you down. Okay. That's Landslide by Fleetwood Mac. Okay. Fleetwood Mac. Excellent. Love her. Okay. Stevie Nicks. Ooh. Anyways, side by side. Side by side. Maybe they work side by side. 704, 707. Okay, but anyways, back to what I was saying. Then I heard earthquakes and other natural disasters, which is exactly what the fuck this is. And exactly what the fuck this is. Volcanoes, storms, okay? Earthquakes, everything. Anything and everything, 727. Anything and everything that God needs to use, he's using. Period, point blank, 732. Okay, so God says those who stand in alignment with me shall be spared, 740, okay? And then I had another drop down, which is one I was mentioning a minute ago, that says, don't get too comfy. Spirit setting stage for this comedian, okay? Rules are rules, okay? 757. And that came through at 1144. Again, I was led back to the Strong's Concordance for 1144. So this time it's the Greek meaning. The other was Hebrew, of D-A-K-R-U-O-N. I won't try and say that one. But it means, a tear or a teardrop. Okay. And it's a reference used for literal tears of repentance, sorrow, or joy. Okay. And then I was led to Revelation at 7:16 and 17. So 16 says, they will never again be hungry or thirsty. They will be scorched by the heat of the sun. 17 says, for the Lamb on the throne will be their shepherd. He will lead them to springs of life-giving water, and God will wipe every tear from their eyes. Okay. So those of you who are in alignment with God will be exalted, is what he says, and protected. God is also saying some of you will be leading the masses through this process of transformation, okay? Like I said, some are going to go willingly and some are going to transition, 909. So be prepared to be unveiled and placed directly into your first real groundwork mission, okay? And then I heard behind enemy lines, and then brought me back to Revelation 7:17. The meaning is comfort and care for God's redeemed people, okay? So God says there is a wake-up call, okay? And that came through 1156, which is 1111. Again, a wake-up call, okay? And then I heard we are in the 11th hour, and we're down to the wire. It's 12 o'clock on my time, 12:20, I mean. Okay? So just be prepared, babies. I love y'all. Bye.